in front of me, got a mixture array of things, but we'll get started. Hey guys and girls, welcome to another cyber coaching session, kind of, with me, your cyber coach, Lee Reed. We're on healthy snacks today and wanted to try and make it a little bit of a Q&A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally tell you all the snacks, then I'm going to bring you in really close so you can zoom in and see the sort of quantities, the amounts, and the things I've actually got out in front of me right close. But from there, if, like, let's say you like the look of something but you don't know how to quite put that into a snack for yourself, that's where the Q&A is going to come in. So that's where you might go, Coach, how do I put popcorn into a snack? What can I put with it? I don't like popcorn plain. Can I do something different? And that's where we'll do the Q&A part. So in front of me, we've got a mixture. Right close, we're going to start with obviously the veg. You've got tomatoes, you've got peppers, you've got carrots. Now obviously, everything in moderation, whether it's fruit, veg, sweets, egg, nuts, protein, all of it is going to be okay for you. But again, the word is moderation. But now we're actually looking for as many healthy snacks as we can to put inside those sort of 4 or 5 minute munch times where we're going in between our main meals. So we're not looking for your main meals here. We are looking for those gaps in between that's going to stop the hunger pangs happening. And it's obviously from there going to stop the insulin level spiking, which obviously if you're looking to lose fat, it's obviously going to increase your fat. And if you're looking A, for a stress-free life, but also B, you're looking to bulk up, your body won't work well when your insulin's all over the place. Going on from the veg, we've obviously got in front of me here a little bit of fruit. So you've got things like blueberries, you've got strawberries, you've got raspberries, any fruit you can think of in a punnet that sort of size will be absolutely perfect for you. Obviously, what you've got to be careful of with all fruits is they're quite high in sugar. Now, coming back from the fruits behind it there, I've actually put something new to me. Never thought I'd like them before, but I believe every 7 years your taste buds change, and every 7 times you eat something your taste buds change. And I've been eating olives recently. I used to hate them as a kid, but these ones, they're so moreish now. Get them from any local supermarket. I have garlic and some kind of herb on it. And obviously you can make your own. You can just get them plain, whatever suits, but sort of 5 to 10 of those, absolutely perfect for you. Coming on to the left-hand side, we've got peanut butter. Lovely peanut butter. Peanut butter can go with near enough anything. Now, obviously peanut butter can be quite high in fat. What you've got to look out for is it's a better quality fat than what you'd normally have if you were going for lard or if you were going for like a McDonald's, anything like that. The quality of fat in that is going to be decent for you to actually allow the fats to get away from the body. Obviously what you don't want is just peanut butter. You want something else that will give you a bit of filling, because the peanut butter obviously gives you a lot of protein within it. So in front of me, I got 3 different choices for you guys. One's digestive biscuits. Yes, they're biscuits, but they can still be healthy for you in moderation. Have 2 or 3 biscuits, bit of peanut butter on top, a great healthy snack for you. If that doesn't fill you, a little bit of nuts on top of that. Suddenly you've got basically what half of the different chocolate bars are without the chocolate. You've also got cream crackers, or crackers, whatever one suits. And then you've got oat biscuits. All of them are any different version of that. Obviously, if you can limit having butter or anything else like that with it, that makes it a lot healthier because you take away the negative side. But obviously, if you're also looking for your aminos, if you're putting that sort of spread on, make sure it's a high in amino spread, low in sort of saturated fats, and you're looking at the ones that are a little bit healthier for you rather than just plain butter. Going over onto the far right hand side, I've got a mixture of different nuts, Balti mix, popcorns, even down to sort of shredded and solidified hard dried fruit. Now you can have that in any different one. Any different type of dried fruit would be brilliant for that. Now, again, same principle with the fruit. It still keeps hold of its sugar content, so just be cautious not to have too much of it. But a little bit of that chopped up inside a nut mix makes the nut mix less boring. One of the reasons why I did this actual live, someone messaged me and said, Coach, I'm having a nut mix, and I've had it for the last month and I'm bored. And it's my only go-to snack. And I said, that's the reason why you're bored. You've having it for too many times. There's no variation in your diet. Your body's just going, I'm bored of this, I don't want it anymore. And the one thing you don't want to do whenever you're looking for a healthy snack, or you're looking to try and change your alternatives around, you don't want to get bored of it straight away. You're looking to make it a positive habit, and one that you can actually live your life with, not just a month with. Too many people go into a diet or a health trend and they go into, I can do it in a month and I'll change. It won't, I promise you. The one thing I can guarantee you is if you're looking for long-term success, that is the only way of doing it. It's moderation, it's variation, and it's making sure reversibility doesn't come in. So it's the same principles you put into your exercise as you do into your food. Also got a load of different nut combinations, from sliced nuts to mixed nuts. And I even put caramelized nuts on there because, yes, okay, the plain nuts that I get from like my farm shops and areas like that, they're a lot healthier for you. However, if you get bored of them, 1 or 2 caramelized nuts, so like that, in an actual normal nut mix, absolutely perfect. Changes the taste, changes the texture, and it makes it completely different for you. So they're not bad ones for you. On my right hand side, obviously I'll go into my go-to, my protein, and that is, the one I tend to hold is obviously from the Fitness Inc. boys, but it's gold standard whey, which means it's very high percentage protein to carb. It's not a bulker, it is literally just a protein. If I want to put carbs into that, I have a carb mix that I have upstairs, which is basically a load of nuts put together, mixed with different other things that will bring in that actual calorie content. Obviously you've got your sort of nature valleys, your creative nature bars, things like that, and even protein bars could work. Just be cautious. Whenever it's a bar, whenever it's packaged, whenever it's looking nice, it's normally quite high in sugar. So straight away, your eyes are glued to it. You're gonna give them money by buying the product. It's gonna have higher sugar rates than something natural. So just bear that in mind when you're doing it. I'm going on to something slightly different. Now this is from My Protein, and it's something I got from them a few years ago. But I've got so many of them. They're absolutely brilliant, and it's a different variation to my normal coffees, and it's a protein latte. Now there's about 16 grams of protein per latte in that, so if obviously I'm going down into the gym and I feel like I need that extra boost of protein, that's brilliant. Coming across them from there, you've obviously got your sort of hydration fluids, you've got your isotonics, you've got your water, but one of the massive ones I've found, which is amazing, and it changed the taste of the protein, is a clear whey protein powder. Now, most companies do it. You've got a few companies that I recommend more, so if you're interested, give me a shout, I'll let you know which ones I go with. But again, if you go to the Fitness Inc. boys in Northampton, they can help you out with that. But clear whey protein is amazing. It just feels like a fruit juice as you're drinking it. Doesn't taste like whey, doesn't taste like a protein powder, just pure juice. Coming into the middle ones, which you'll see in a minute a little bit up close, but I've got halva and I've got sweets. Now you're probably all thinking, oh my God, you can't eat that, coach, you'll become fat. Well, I'm not fat. I eat all this stuff on here. The difference is it's moderation. Now halva I find is brilliant for an after gym type workout. So I've actually cut this lot up for the use after this live. I'm in the gym later. And basically halva is high in protein, so the one I went for is high in protein. It's very low in sugar, which will probably mean it has different antioxidants, etc. in there that could cause headaches and things like that if you suffer from that sort of thing. So they're the sort of things to look out for. Look out for the fake sugars, basically. If you're unsure what they are, let me know and I'll post about it later. But that sort of thing, a halva thing, for the amount of protein in that is brilliant, and it has a couple of quality fats in it. Now the company unfortunately I used to get mine from were the Centre of Milton Keynes lot. They've since obviously closed down, but you can get halva from near enough any area you're looking for. Just be cautious, don't use a homemade halva recipe because they're very high in fat. The ones you're looking for are lower in fat, lower in sugar and high in protein. Now coming on to sweets. Now the sweets in front of me, obviously being vegan, are vegan and gluten-free. Now yes, they're going to have sugars in them, but everyone has that sweet tooth. Everyone has that time where you just need to go, I need something different. I need that little change. I need that little bit of a boost. So sometimes when I'm going into the gym and I know I'm going into a leg day, or I know I'm going into a hard session, I'll grab a couple of sweets, 2 or 3, nothing more, no whole packet. That's what people do. People bring a whole packet and they eat it and they're like, oh, I feel fat. Guys, you've just taken on more sugar in that than you should have done in a week. That's where that comes from. It's all that moderation. You don't have to starve yourself. You can have all of this, but take it in moderation at different times, vary it so you enjoy your diet. So don't be afraid of sweets, but limit them. And especially if you're a kid, you've got to imagine 6 normal sweets from any Haribo or any Star Mix or anything else like that. That is normally your GDA in the actual day. Yeah, that's your guided daily allowance. So everything you're meant to have, sugar-wise, full stop. So if you're having that 6, not whole bags, 6 sweets, that's it. You shouldn't be having any more sugar. So no Fantas, no Cokes, no peanut butters, no, what else would we have in here? Balti mixes, certainly no bars. You'd literally, no fruits. You'd literally not be able to have near everything on here if you'd had those 6 sweets. So that's how cautious you have to be with it. Now, on that side, I'm going to bring you guys all the way in, and I'm going to start answering your Q&As. So if you've got Q&As, now's your chance to start pinging those questions through. If you've got thought processes on what you'd like to eat but you don't know what to do, or you'd like to know what's in what, whatever the question is, start pinging it through now and I'll move you guys in. So Insta, you're coming in first. Crazy Catch guys, how you doing? It's not one for you guys today, but you crazy catchers are in the back of this room. So just to give you a bit of a shout out. You guys are absolute legends. So happily to say hello on that one. I'm going to scroll through Insta to start with and see what you guys have been coming up with, see in case you've had any questions early doors. Hello to everybody. Yeah, I've got the raw egg on here. So that's also another one that's massively high in protein. Smoked salmon with Philadelphia cheese. It's not bad. I mean, Sam, you're looking for build anyway. So for you to actually have sort of smoked salmon and cheese, there's no issues to that. The amount of calories you'll work off a day, that'll be absolutely fine. You just obviously don't want a whole massive plate full of it. And obviously there are better fishes you can pick for omegas and your quality of fats compared to that. So that's the only thing to look out for that, Sam. Facebook wise, let's have a look at you guys. Wow, you guys have been talking. I'm enjoying my dinner here, definitely. I am live on Instagram. I hope I am, because they're talking to each other over there. So carrots, yeah, not half. Hey Dad, welcome. Mum knows what aminos are. I bet she does. Should I start having protein shakes? That's a great question. I'll come on to that in a minute. Raisins are absolutely brilliant. I love pesto. Pesto is beautiful. However, obviously vegan pesto is slightly different. Has a different taste to it, but it's still quite nice. C&J have had fizzy drinks yet. Still on water, squash and milk. That's brilliant. Absolutely love that. So Matisse asked, should he start having protein shakes? Now, you're quite young to have protein shakes, Matisse. I probably didn't start having protein shakes. I was about 18 sort of area. So technically there is no need for you to have protein shakes. By rights at your age, you should have enough quality protein in your diet that you don't really need the extra boost of protein. Obviously, at my age, you're looking at about 1.5 grams of protein per sort of pound to kg of body weight. So the protein amounts go spiraling when you get older. So the one thing you have to be cautious with when you get older is obviously taking on enough protein. At your age, you probably don't need it. However, if you were gonna get some, having one every time you've had a set with me or you've had a heavy day at school wouldn't be a problem. You just look to limit the actual sugar within them, and it shouldn't become a staple diet for you. It should just be a go-to if you've had a big group day, if you've had a bigger load of exercise, and you just need that extra boost. So that's how I would go with it with yourself. But when you're sort of 16, yeah, 100%, get into protein shakes, start finding which ones you like, start finding which ones work for your body, and go from there. Coke and Mentos any good? Now I'm hoping that's a joke of a question, but it might not be, so I'm going to answer it. Now obviously Coke, none of them are bad for you, but it's the moderation side. Obviously Coke you'd be looking at very little to actually have that amount. And Mentos, same principles as the sweets I was talking about earlier. You're talking 6 or 7 of them and you're probably over your GDA of sugar. I don't know that for Mentos dead on, but it's certainly worth looking at the actual packet. So I'd be very cautious with the amount of Coke and Mentos you've got, especially, I won't mention the name, but you know obviously what you suffer with. Having a very high sugar intake on that would obviously not help the ADHD side of things. So be very cautious with things like Coke, Mentos or sweets, because it'll give you that sugar rush and you won't be able to pull yourself back down. So if you can get off of those, and let's be honest, the reason you go for them is because they taste nice. They are the nice tasting, they are the go-tos. But what about the things on here? You could go for any of the different veg, you could go for the different fruits, you could go for some of the different nuts, and even if you're gonna go sweets like that, only have 3 of them. And that's how I would do that sort of side. So just be cautious with the amount of sugars you take on. Is there such thing as too much protein? Yes, there is. Protein, there obviously is protein deficiency, but there is also way too much protein. What you can find with protein is if you start taking on too much, you start seeing sort of dry, dead skin, you start seeing your bowel patterns will start changing, and you may even sort of find yourself almost clumping your belly and not being able to go to the toilet. So yes, there is too much protein, but it is very hard to have too much protein, especially when you're an adult. Half the time, a lot of the adults don't have enough protein, because unfortunately we all look at those sort of ready meals, we look at those sort of base meals that we can just go to, we can pee into a microwave, or we can just take the top off the container and put it in. Now you guys saw last week the way I eat, and if I told you probably 13 days out of 14, that's how we'd eat. Now on that day where we're not eating that, it wouldn't be a processed food from a McDonald's, it wouldn't be a processed food from sort of a takeaway, it would be more a homemade meal, but a homemade burger. It'd be that sort of thing. So everything is as quality as you can physically make it. Now, yes, every month, 2 months, I will have a takeaway. I will have something different. But it'll also depend if I'm looking to really shred down, or I'm going into a photo shoot where I'm having to show parts of my body and I want it looking right. I won't have those sort of things. Now, I will have them just before I do the photo shoot, because it's pushes out the actual muscles and it makes the muscles almost pop a little bit, because you suddenly put the carbohydrates and the fats back in and the body goes so it's just knowing the right times to do all of them. We've got C says he loves vegetables. He's asking how much portion size should he have. Veg wise, to be honest, there's not a massive problem with having too many vegetables. The one thing you don't want to do is fill up on the veg. Veg is obviously high in water. It's got its vitamins, it's got its minerals in, but they're very low quantities. If you're talking vitamins and minerals, you're talking, obviously I take a supplement for vitamins and minerals, being vegan anyway, which a lot of you probably wouldn't know. You actually have to, otherwise you won't get enough vitamins and minerals, because the vitamins and minerals actually come from the animals rather than the actual veg. Now, the veg side of things, if you stock up on it, it will basically fill your stomach. So if you are looking to lose weight, filling up on veg and things like that are actually a great way of doing it. Obviously, keep your proteins in there, keep a little bit of carbohydrates, otherwise your body will think it's starving. But having a lot of veg there to take away the hunger pangs is a brilliant thing. But C, you wouldn't want to be filling up on too much veg, because you actually want to be taking on the proteins as well, so you do get the build in the bones. Most of your stuff's pre-packed. Most of your stuff is not pre-packed. That's good and definite and portioned. So limit the takeaways. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. How many grapes should I eat in one go? So grapes are the same principles as fruits. They are quite high in sugars. So, I mean, I would probably go with if you go with something like that and you fill it to that, you'd be talking about 8 or 9 grapes is the maximum. Now, you can always look on the back of the grapes. They all have the nutritional values. Careful of not to look at per 100. Try and look at per grape and look at per portion size. And then take your time and actually weigh everything on scales and just check what you're actually taking compared to what you think you're taking. A lot of the different things that you buy in supermarkets, they try and make you think you're eating one thing where actually you're doubling that. I'll give you a good example of that. A few years ago, I was shredding down to about 2.5% body fat, which is very, very difficult to do. It's near enough impossible. But I was literally on 3.35% body fat at the time, and I couldn't get the last bit off. And I really wanted the abs to pop in the photo shoot that I was doing, and couldn't do it. And I couldn't work out why. And I'd gone into obviously, water was a massive one there. And I was taking on about 6 litres a day at the time, just to take away every bit of fat left on the body. But what I didn't realise was actually the waters that I was drinking had high sugar content because they'd put new flavours into it. And new flavours actually contain sugars. And where I expected water to be water, hadn't looked at the nutritional value of it. And basically, I was drinking the same amount of sugars in a litre of water that would be in a litre of Coke. So things can mislead you if you don't look at things. So if you're ever struggling or something like that, have a look at what's in your I nearly said microwave there, but what's in your I still want to say microwave. It's not microwave. It's definitely microwave. What's in your fridge and what's in your freezer, and have a look at the nutritional value on the back of them, and literally kind of scan through it and just make sure that you are eating what you think you're eating, and that will be the key thing for yourselves. So what other questions have we got with regards to any sort of foods that you eat or that might be on the table here? Give me a couple more minutes and then we'll sign off for the day. I tend tonight to eat some of this right in front of you guys. I'm starving right now. C says he likes to have hot chocolate with cream and marshmallows, but he has maybe every month as a treat. He's asking, can't see because it's way too much. See more? Yeah, man. See, can you break that last sentence down? Because it actually won't let me see the whole thing. So it says, you're asking, and then it goes, see more. What do I think of Doritos? So Doritos are obviously high in carbohydrates, but they're not a bad crisp. There are better crisps for you. So if you go gluten-free, so if you're struggling with your stomach, gluten-free might not be a bad shout for crisps. Nearly brought a load of crisps down actually to show you different ones, but kind of lost space on the table, so I thought, no, I'll leave those for another time. Maybe we'll ping that back in a few months' time or a few weeks' time. But Doritos are absolutely fine. Again, same principles, moderate everything. You wouldn't want 6 packets, you wouldn't want 2 packets, but a packet every day or a packet every 2 days, if you're looking to lose weight, or as a child, packet a day will be absolutely fine. As long as the rest of your actual food intake is of high caliber, you'll be no problems at all. It doesn't matter what they are, as long as it's, you know, if you're taking on 6 bowls of pork scratchings, yeah, okay, you're going to take on the fats, but that sort of thing, you'd be absolutely fine. So yeah, there's no panic to that at all. C says, should he have it more often? See, the honesty is, so I'll have a latte probably once a day at max. I'll potentially have it once every 2 days, so I don't get bored. And I'll have a bit of cream on it now and again, probably twice a week. And obviously, yeah, my cream's slightly different to your guys' cream. It's got nothing in it, because again, it's gluten-free and it's vegan. But the honesty is, at your age, you'll be fine to have it twice, 3 times a month. There's no problems there. If you feel like you need it, your body's telling you something. It's saying it wants to grow. It's saying it wants to take on calories. Now, what I don't want you guys to do is go away from here and start panicking on your food. I just wanted to give you different ideas of some of the things that I eat and what you could go away and do yourselves. You don't ever want to panic with what you eat or how you're going to eat. If you ever get to that sort of stage, you need to be talking to me, because I'll help you through it. What sort of things you can take, what's good for you, what's bad for you, why you panic on it. You never want to be afraid of the food you're eating. You actually want to enjoy it. As you can see in front of me here, I've got loads of different colours. And if you have loads of different colours, when you're cooking and when you're making different meals, your brain clicks to the colours and it starts to really kind of want to try different things. There's different textures here, there's different tastes, there's different feels, there's different, literally everything. The world is in front of you here. And that is your key. It is stopping your mind getting bored of the food. There'd be nothing worse than only eating salad every single day. You've got to have that variation, so throw a bit of nuts on top of your salad, throw a few little veg on top of your breakfast cereal. All those things would be absolutely perfect. Coffee is absolutely fine. At your age, Erin, obviously coffee is high caffeine content, as the word coffee is. Just be cautious with it. With everything that, obviously at your age, with coffee being quite high amounts and the caffeine kicking in, you'd find yourself buzzing too much. Now, if you are going to take caffeine or coffee or Coke or anything that would contain caffeine, you don't want it after about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, you'll struggle to sleep. So if you're struggling to sleep and you're going to bed with a coffee, or you're having a coffee with dinner, or you're having a coffee sort of 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that could be why. And I would limit it to sort of only AM times. So if I have my pre-workout or I have my coffee, I'll only limit it to literally the days where I am right in the morning. So a lot of you see me when I'm, especially the weekends, when I look like I've died because I've done sort of 10 hours the day before and I'm going on to another 10-hour stint, I'll have a coffee in the morning, and heck yeah, I will. So it is the right time to do it, and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So just be careful with too much caffeine, Erin. We'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks for your sessions anyway. Am I at an age to be really seriously thinking about healthy eating? Easiest way I can describe that, Matisse, is what's the right age? When I was a kid, I think one of the things that really resounded in my head was from my mum and dad. Obviously, a lot of you that know, my dad suffered from a heart attack. Now, it was through diet choices and it was through sort of other lifestyle choices that he was doing at the time. But that really resounded to me. And I started looking at the biomechanics of why it could have happened. And if I look back at those couple of years, we were high in fats, we were high in sugars. So even if it wasn't just for my health, it was for my dad's health. But the thing that really resounded for me is, when do we know when we're clogging our arteries? When do we know when we're clogging our veins? And when do we know when we're sort of abusing our heart? Whereas if we can start now and start thinking healthy, I don't want you to limit your food, but you start thinking, instead of having 5 McDonald's, why not have 1 McDonald's and the rest homemade food? You're still getting your luxury, you're still getting the stuff you enjoy, but you're also taking on the quality foods. So there's no such time to think about healthy eating. Healthy eating is when you want to think about healthy eating. But if you just have an understanding of your food, that would be good enough for now. And then as you're growing older, as you're getting into the gym, as you want to become bigger or you want to become smaller, whatever it is at the time, you can then start thinking, right, what food actually does what? Protein builds, but it can also help lose fat. Fats obviously can make you big, but they can also make you smaller. Water helps you take away fats, but it also helps you hydrate. Carbohydrates, massive source for energy, makes your brain function, makes your heart work, makes your body not cramp up, can turn to glycogen, which can obviously make you fat, but very little. There's a lot of things that do different things within your diet, but that's for another day.
but yes, you want to think about the things you're eating, but enjoy what you're eating currently. Who was I talking about earlier? You were one of them, Erin, if that helped. I was not going to say that, but you obviously want me to. So, yeah, I was talking about you a little bit earlier. You had that was a brilliant question, actually. Yeah, just thinking about that. Who have we got? Would I recommend... Ooh. What would you recommend pre-workout?
Oh, pre-workouts. Are we talking adult there? Are we talking child? So if we're talking food-wise, you're talking, so let's say if we got the stuff here, I'd have peanut butter and some biscuit. I may have a bit of veg, I may have a bit of fruit. Obviously nuts would be a massive staple source, and if I feel like my body needs it, I'd have the protein, but I'd certainly have the protein after my exercise, and I'd have it within the hour after my exercise, so I don't go to a catabolic state, and I don't suddenly have my obviously muscles basically disintegrating because they haven't got the nutritional value or the nutrition to actually basically recover. So they're the sort of things that I'd have pre-workout. If you're looking for a HIIT pre-workout, so you're looking to try and get mentally on, obviously you can do a pre-workout. Now just be cautious with those, there are a lot of rubbish ones, there's a lot of different types as well. It's not what I'm going to go into because obviously there's a lot of kids on this, but if you obviously want that full information, give me a shout. But pre-workouts for yourself, a protein latte would be absolutely brilliant. Lattes are not a bad hit, they give you a decent amount of caffeine, and it gets you a good boost. And look at L-lysine, that would be a good one for you as well. But again, if you need anything on that, just give me a shout. Porridge with protein is absolutely brilliant. I tend to have a granola type substance upstairs, and I'll mix this with it, and I also, if I don't mix that with it and I want a nicer taste, I have a chocolate milk upstairs. Chocolate milk can be high in protein for people, so that's not a bad food substitute as well, so that's a good one to utilise. So chocolate milk's very good. Obviously be careful, some of them are high in sugars. There are almond alternatives, which are lower in sugars, and obviously they've got the aminos and they've got the nut, etc. in there. So almond protein, or almond chocolate protein, that is an absolutely great source as well. Put that on top of like granola and things like that, gives you a nice little taste and a nice little boost. Don't mind Erin, she's just been Erin. Yeah, not wrong, Sam, she's normally Erin. Best protein that doesn't taste like beep. Yeah, Gav, how you doing, my man? Long time no see. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? It is a very difficult one to do. A lot of protein tastes horrible. But Gav, give the guys a call at fitnessinc.com. Give me a shout if you can't remember that. But Fitness Inc. Northampton, you'll see them on a lot of my posts. Give them a shout, tell them you're from me, and they'll tell you the ones that I take. This one's one of them, Gold Standard Whey Protein. It is a brilliant tasting one. It's high in protein. It has medium sort of carbohydrates, but it also is stacked with BCAAs and EAAs. So that is quality. You can't really go wrong with chocolate mint. If you like chocolate mint, that takes away the protein taste very well. So that's one of the good ones. You've got a couple of different protein bars, which I'll post the next couple of days. Haven't got any in at the moment. I've eaten all of mine. I'm waiting for my stock to come in from the Fitness Inc. guys. So I'll post that when they come. So you'll see that in the next probably the next week or so. But Gold Standard is a very good one, and the clear whey protein I take is very good. Again, I've got that coming through as well, so I'll post about that in the next couple. But give them a call, tell them you're one of my close ones, and they normally give you a decent percentage off. So give them a bell, they can ship it straight to you. Just let them know it's from me. All right, it's a great question. When does this finish? Just wondering. Have absolutely no idea. Depends when people's questions finish, Erin, is the honesty with that. It wasn't one I put time for. It wasn't a specific one. Probably wrapping up in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Chocolate fudge and vanilla protein. See, vanilla protein is quite good because you can mix it with a lot of things, and obviously it doesn't have a massive taste. And chocolate fudge, yeah, love chocolate fudge normally, but I never find the protein works as well. It never tastes as good. It normally tastes horrendous. Yeah, that's the way I look out for it. Now, obviously, this is one thing that I don't have that is vegan. Being whey, it is not a vegan substitute. I do have a vegan protein upstairs, but there's no way I was going to show you guys that because it doesn't taste great, and I don't think many of you would want to try it. But there are vegan substitutes out there, so I kind of mix and match to make sure, again, although I'm vegan, I've obviously had a lot of weight training stuff and whey stuff for many years. To try and go away from that would be even more impossible. So I think that's about us wrapped up. If you guys have got any other questions, please feel free to launch them in comments later. Instagram, this will be saved to the Instagram role, and Facebook, this will be saved to there. So feel free to keep your questions launching through. I'll have a little look through later tonight and answer any questions that come through. If you have any major questions you don't want to put on here, don't be afraid to direct message me and just let me know. But bar that, guys and girls, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all enjoying your different foods. I shall see you all soon. Much love to everyone. Everyone stay safe and take care. From me, your cyber coach. Have a great night. Now drop that then. Gav, for you, do they do products that are high protein, lowish in carbs, obviously with full training? Yeah, 100%. This is one of them. This would be the one I go with. So if I'm actually going to read you off on this one for you, carb wise, we are, so per portion, so it is a 30.4 gram portion each, but the carbohydrates in this is 1.6, of which sugars is 1.1. So the carb wise in this, it's one of the lowest you're going to get. I think it's about an 86 to 89% protein ratio in this one. So that is a great one for you to use. But give the guys at Fitness Inc. a shout and they will sort you out with the protein, my man. Much love to everyone. See you soon.